welcome to episode 47 of the Amb Ant Podcast. I'm Anthony.
And I'm Amber, and this is totally not the second time that we're recording this.
Totally. And today we are talking about Mob Psycho 100, Season 3.
Otherwise known as Mob Psycho 100. Apparently. But anyways, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more podcast reviews like these. I'm not reading from a script.
She is not.
The reason why we're recording this the second time is because I feel like I ramble on way too much without any structure. So then I will introduce some of the talking points that we may or may not touch upon. Career stuff. Amakusa Rich can do whatever he wants. Okay, anyways. Mavu being distracted about Culture Fest while exercising. Exercising? Exorcist? I don't know how to read it, actually.
Exorcising? Or...
Okay, I have to say, English is not my first language. Okay, next. And then, like, the whole thing about being popular in middle school, I think that is an interesting thing to me, personally. Yeah. And honestly, like, the cultural differences between, like, Japan and America is quite different. Anyways, Tsubomi as an interesting character, and also, like, the love interest being the main goal of this show, I think is an interesting choice. And bad shirt comment by Ekubo. And everything about Ekubo. I love Ekubo. I cried so much.
That's true.
Yes. And I also kind of want to touch upon, like, what we recorded last time. Like, the difference kind of between Mob Psycho and One Punch Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I did not watch enough One Punch Man to talk about it, but...
Yeah, I mean, we watched season 3, like, episodes 1 through 6, so just mainly talking about those episodes here.
Yeah, we did not watch till the end, but I've seen that the ending is epic, and I trust.
Yeah.
Mob Psycho is so good.
Yeah.
Better than One Punch Man.
Nope.
Way better. So,
okay.
Starting from the beginning of season 3.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I haven't watched or read Mob Psycho for so long. Like, again...
Yeah, same.
It's not really again for y'all, but it is again for us. That, like, I watched the first season and then I read all of the manga. And I think I did watch all of season 2 as well. And I just want to say... The storytelling is so good, and also the animation by Bone Studio is so good. Like, as much as I don't like My Hero Academia, I love Bone animation, so then, like, everything that they produce, like, that's the reason I even watched My Hero Academia, and then this is just, like, good story plus awesome animation.
Right, yeah, the animation is pretty top tier. I mean, I really like all the... Like, they include a lot of detail in it, so they try pretty hard.
It's not just that, it's like the movement is so smooth, and it's like they're using just 2D, but it's so dynamic that it's just so satisfying to watch. And yeah, I love Mob Psycho. And like season 3... Okay, I have to say, like, I don't really remember season 1 and 2 that, like, well anymore, but then, like, season 3 has been, like, such a blast.
Yeah, it was your highest rated.
Yeah.
We'll get into that.
Yes.
But, yeah, I mean, it starts out, like, Mob is just a normal middle school kid, like, trying to figure out...
As always.
Yeah, as always, like, trying to figure out his career path. Like most middle schoolers.
Like,
it seems.
Like, okay, so like for me, in my middle school, I just wanted to be a manga artist.
Yeah.
Which was not the path that I took, sadly.
I mean, yet.
Thanks for the trust. But like,
yes.
Oh my god, first of all, like Japan is interesting in the sense that like, a lot of people don't go on to like high school, and a lot of people don't, even more people don't go on to college.
Right.
So then you kind of just start working. So then I guess it's like normal for that. So I almost just kind of wanted to assume that it's more like high school, like thinking about career. So then it's more serious because like personally to me, I love Mob Psycho because of how relatable it is, but then, like, if it's, like, middle school and thinking about a career, it's not that relatable, like, from my personal experience.
Yeah. I mean, like, you might not have a school event doing that, but you definitely...
start thinking about it.
You start thinking about, like, I don't know. It's, like, even earlier these days, because you have all these, like, expectations placed on you, and then, like, I don't know, like, you just hear about, like, more and more, like, I don't know, you tend to hear more and more about these, like, young people doing crazy, crazy things.
But, like, Mob isn't even, like, trying to do crazy, crazy things, even though he can do crazy, crazy things.
I was just thinking, like, in terms of general awareness of, like, people, it seems to have gone up for, like, this kind of stuff.
Indeed.
So.
But, yeah, like, Mob, he's just... Everyone, I mean...
Right, so all the kids, like, seem to have something.
Just,
and then he doesn't have it.
Even though it's, like, very normal shit. Like, it's not, like, crazy things like, oh, I'm gonna start my own business.
Is that crazy thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
And, like, doing things like that is kind of just like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna be a teacher kind of level of just, I have something in mind.
That's true.
And then Mobu... Even though he is so, like, exceptional in his, like, supernatural abilities, he doesn't know what he's gonna do. And it's actually so relatable for me, not in middle school, but right now, because, like, I feel like in middle school, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be a manga artist. And yeah, totally. But, like, now, as a grad student studying anime...
Right.
I feel a lot more lost than, like, I was. And so then, like, to see him, like, struggle with that, like, it is very refreshing. And I feel like, in a sense, this is kind of, I would say, how would you say it? Like, it's almost, like, narcissistic to watch it and enjoy it, to relate to yourself, because it's, like, we're not, like, we as humans, without supernatural powers, we're not as exceptional as, like, Mabu is, but then it's, like, that feeling of, like, you have, like, a secret life of, like, awesome powers, but, like, still struggling with real life is, like, very relatable, is almost, like, a little narcissistic thing for me.
Yeah, it just I think that's the whole attraction of Mob, right?
Yeah.
Where he has, like, these extraordinary powers and he can do a lot of, like, just crazy stuff. Yet, like, you know, when he comes back home, he's just like a little boy who's, like, kind of lost.
Yeah.
And, like, kind of airheaded a little.
Yeah.
Like, he just, like, he doesn't know what's going on, basically. Yeah. He has a crush on a girl, and then that's, you know... he doesn't think about... Like,
and Tsubomi doesn't even, like, notice him that
which
much.
is very true. Like, that's very accurate. Of
middle school.
Of middle school boys, it seems like.
I mean, it's not just boys, like, even girls.
Yeah, pretty much. It's, like, pretty accurate. So, I mean, I do like how it kind of just shows that, and it's very funny.
It's not just funny, it's just so, like, real. Yeah. Like, that whole thing about, like, I don't know, like, the infatuation with Tsubomi. And, like, and this is jumbled up in the order of talking points, but it's okay. Like, Tsubomi, to me, has been always, like, kind of just... Is she a MacGuffin? Meaning, like, she doesn't really matter, she's just a goal for, like, no reason? Or, like, is she, like, a complex character? Like, how should the audience even, like, kind of understand her? It's like, why does Mobu even like her? I'm always super confused.
Yeah, so... It could be a MacGuffin, like, in the end, it doesn't even matter, type deal, where, like, you don't care, it doesn't affect the story whether he gets it or not. Honestly, I think it's just, like, one of those tropes you just throw in, just because.
But at the same time, like, they always kind of try to say that, like, Tsubomi is more than what she seems like. That's why, like, when later on in the season, right, like, I guess, like, in the middle of the season, like, when everyone is being mind-controlled, like, Ekubo specifically mentioned, like, oh, Tsubomi, she is, like, different from the other people that, like, she wouldn't eat the candy that everyone else is eating. She wouldn't do the things that, like, you know, touch the plants or whatever, like, that everyone else was, like, forcing her to do. She was, like, she had her own idea, and then she was like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. So then I'm always like, oh my god, Mama has, like, good taste. God damn.
Yeah, potentially. Like, she just thinks she's, like, I don't know, she's of a different level, you know.
Yeah.
She doesn't subscribe to the norm. Like these girls who are like below her.
Yeah, so because of that, oh my god, I'm rooting for like Mulvu and Subomi. Although I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's kind of like the series would have to be basically over.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, the series is over after the season, which, oh god, I'm aching to continue. But
wait, the series is over after the season?
Yeah. The series is already over.
Everything ends?
Yeah! That's why, like, aching to watch it.
Wait, like, the manga has ended and everything?
Yeah.
This season wraps everything up.
Exactly, so I really want to finish it.
Huh. Is One Punch Man over then?
I have no idea. He started One Punch Man first, but then I think he ended Mob Psycho first.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I love Mob Psycho a lot more, because I just feel like it's a coherent story that, like, one had, like, one, if you don't know who one is, the manga artist of One Punch Man and Mob, like, he kind of, like, had the idea of how he wanted to tell the story, so then he just told it however he wanted to, and then it just ended. So then I just feel like it's such a holistic, I guess, like, work. So then I'm just so excited to just finish it, because I just hear so many good things about the ending.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I'm just so curious.
We may have to finish it sometime.
Yay!
Let's go.
I'm so excited. But yeah, like, oh my god, just season 3, as much as, like, I love season 1 and 2. Okay, I'm always, like, super confused as to why, like, just Mob Psycho is not as popular as One Punch Man, or just, like, a lot of seasonal anime these days. It's so well made.
Yeah, so One Punch Man was, like, breaking because it was like a deconstruction. Sure, it was a parody, right, of like normal hero animes, right? So like maybe even it makes fun of, like, I don't know, just like even My Hero or something like that. Just some like classic, like, oh, everything is like super important, like, oh, like this bad guy, like we all hate him and stuff, you know, like he did so many bad things, and like now we have to have the hero go after him, beat him up. Whereas, like, we already know what's kind of gonna happen in One Punch Man. He just one punches them to death, and then they have their, like, spiel, and he just ends it.
Yeah. So. Like, I get it, like, why One Punch Man is so special, like, especially considering the timing. Like, people are kind of, like, very used to the formula of how, like, shonen or just, like, hero kind of, like, media is. It's not just manga, it's just even, you know, Marvel, right?
Yeah, Marvel and stuff, I was gonna say.
So then, I get it, but at the same time, it's not as relatable as Mobu, because, like, the whole, like, social structure, the whole, like, world building is kind of different, because, like, again, the prevalence of heroes and whatnot is almost more similar to My Hero.
And here is where, like, venture out the idea that, like, so, like, guys play, you know, video games and stuff like that a lot of the time these days. So, you just see, like, a clear, like, ranking structure, right? Like, levels or, like, ranks or, like, you know, or, like, just, like, levels, ranks, stuff like that. Like, you can tell who is better and who is worse. And then, like, people generally like that. Because it's clear.
Yeah. And that's why I keep on saying, like, as much as, like, I hear, like, all these, like, anime theorists saying that, you know, anime is postmodern, I feel like it's not. It is truly, like, nowadays, like, there is, like, a desire for the world to be logical, for the world to be, like, decipherable. Like, you would make sense of what is going on. And then it's, like, the whole thing about, like, Saitama being, I think, like, a C-class hero? I don't really remember.
Well, he ranks up throughout the series, but yeah.
But, you know, in the beginning, like, even though he's so strong, like, he starts out as a C because of, like, whatever, like, misunderstandings and...
misunderstandings, and, like, he has to work his way up, and, like, you know, something was lost, you know?
Yeah. Like, it's still like this just desire to like, you know, be able to be recognized.
Right.
And just like make sense of like the society.
Yeah, I mean,
and then recognition and whatnot.
Somewhat to like continue on that is like there is the strongest like human in the series, or an S-class like king, you know?
Yeah, but we're talking so much about One Punch Man, and I didn't even watch One Punch Man after like 3 episodes. Goddamn.
So yeah, I mean, Mob is less popular, I think, just because it doesn't have that element of like rankings. There's only one Mob.
But it's so much more natural.
Like, there's not even a competition between Mob and his like, you know, his brother, and you know.
But he is stronger than everyone.
Yeah, he is likely stronger than everyone. We just, it's not clear.
I don't know yet.
Yeah, likely, right? And it's like there's not even competition there. So it's just they're all just going about their own kind of stuff.
I don't know though. Like, isn't Saitama also like the strongest kind of without competition?
But there's competition.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
They try.
Okay. Yeah, but then I feel like, oh god, now I'm just feeling like, oh my god, am I the kind of like, you know, self-centered narcissistic one, as I have mentioned, like just the whole like feeling of narcissism like being like exceptional, like you yourself, at least myself, I do think that like I am like exceptional in some way, but then I am still like not special in life because I struggle with like a lot of like random like small shit. So then I feel like I like identify with Mob so much more than I identify with Saitama, like because, you know, like I'm just super like awkward and whatnot, like even though I do think that I'm pretty smart, and that is actually probably not true now that I'm thinking about it. But then it's like the fact that I'm just saying, like the fact that I feel like I identify with Mob more than I do identify with Saitama, because like in Saitama's worldview, as you have mentioned, like there's more competition that's like, you know, people are trying to not outsmart you, but like outbeat you kind of thing. And then like for Mabu, it's like it's kind of a given that he's the strongest almost in that world, but then it's kind of just he is so awkward that he cannot just like do it like smooth sailing life.
Yeah, I mean, I think both stories actually, they come from the same author, so I think he kind of did the same thing with both main characters. He just kind of made them similar. Like like Saitama is kind of just bored with the hero thing, and then Mob doesn't even think the psychic powers are interesting. Interesting. It's like he's like kind of whatever about it.
Yeah, which I feel like it's again because I've been thinking about my thesis way too much, and now I'm just like going to refer to it way too much. Right. Like, it's so interesting to see, like, it is adhering to kind of, like, the socially, like, normative and traditional values of, like, oh, yeah, like, rather than, like, going about it, like, in a, like, supernatural way, I want to be, like, popular. I want to be, like, socially accepted, just, like normal people. It's, like, even though I have all these, like, supernatural, like, awesome shit, like, that doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's like, if people like me, if the girl that I have a crush on likes me, if like the people around me think that I have a good job, that's why like even they talk about like the career thing. Like,
so the anime kind of does well in like breaking down what is like the building blocks of what they're trying to do here, actually, like rather than like getting distracted with all the crazy abilities and stuff like that.
Exactly.
He just wants to, at the core of it, like just attract the girl that he likes, you know?
Be accepted, attract the girl that he likes. And that's super just relatable because at the end of the day, we don't have superpowers, but we still have crushes in middle school and just want attention and like to seem cool enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, so then, oh God, I just love Mob Psycho so much because, like, yeah, like, I have always been the awkward kid, even now. And so then I'm just like, oh my God, I feel the feel.
Okay. True. Yeah. Same.
So then, moving on to other talking points. So in the beginning of this season, also we got introduced to the very rich and weird character of Amakusa.
Yeah, Amakusa Haruaki.
Yeah, Haruaki, again. Like, just, it's Seime, but Haruaki, because Abe Seime is, like, the most famous, like, actual historical figure who is, like, used by the, like, Tenno, like, the emperor of Japan to, like, exercise.
Actually, at the beginning of this episode, I thought he was going to be some, like, crazy, like, sidekick who's, like, also, like, you know, going to be a, you know, cool guy who's, like, you know, who's like trying to take out stuff, but then we just learned that he's like some lame like nerd who has way too much money and way too much free time. So it's just like, and then he's like hasn't done anything basically ever, and he's just enjoying his hobby, you know.
Yeah.
But he's like actually right in that like there were monsters, you know, but he just wasn't, you know, they weren't gonna win without Mr. Mob. And his
and the other dude from the last season.
I don't even know his name.
I don't remember his name.
Like, he's just that unimportant. Like,
okay, that's not true. He was a hikikomori. I remember that right. At least.
But like that's what I'm trying to say about like they don't compete over like who's the best psychic or like who's the strongest. You know, they're under a sensei who's like or under like a
Reagan.
Yeah. They're under, like, Rankin, who's, like,
and also, worst. Just, like, Reagan is just...
The Reagan is a whole nother conversation. Yeah. Right? Like, it's just...
There are so many, like, just fucking videos and whatever content about Reagan. Like, Reagan is just crazy. But, like, Amakusa is also just, like, super interesting in the sense that, like, yeah, at some point, like, if you have that much money, like, just, you can do whatever you want. Even though, like, yeah, he does, like, probably have, like, some kind of psychic power to, like, at least, like, sense that something is wrong.
At least, yeah.
But, like, oh god, it's just a, I guess, satirical kind of, like, criticism of just that kind of person who just...
Right. You can speak, like, you have influence, you can speak things into existence. Like, even though there's nothing, he just, like, offered up, like, I don't know, $10,000, and then he's like, and then you know, like,
yeah, he just made people do things.
Yeah, and then they all followed him into the lair. You know, it's just like,
that's why Reagan is so good.
Yeah, and then Reagan's like, okay, you know, we're doing it.
Yeah, like if someone gives me that much money, I can do anything. Like as I've said, like I just quit my job recently. Like if they give me a shit ton of money, like I'll continue. Yeah. But then it's just hella boring. Like, it's fine to be hella boring if you have much money. So then I like Reagan so much just because, like, he's so human. Like, it doesn't really matter, like, what the ideology is. Like, what the moral, like, what's the right thing to do. No. At the end of the day, you just need to survive.
Yeah.
That's right. And that's the whole thing about Mob is so good. Like, it's because, like, you're not trying to be a hero. You're just trying to get by. Like even last season, why, like, Mabu even, like, fought the, like, other, like, evil dude, like, his whole organization and whatnot, it's because, like, his brother is, like, being kind of, like, brainwashed by them. It's like, if it didn't affect, like, the people that are close to him, and it just was like, oh, yeah, this is just an evil, quote-unquote, evil organization that's, like, harmful to the society, he wouldn't do anything.
Yeah, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, being a hero isn't the goal of this show. Like, it's just to, you know, kind of... The whole thing about this whole show is just, like, trying to achieve normality when you're not normal. And I just find that to be, like, so relatable and wholesome. Right. As if we're all not normal. But, like, no one feels that they're normal. Yeah.
I don't know about that. No one feels that they're normal. Everyone feels that they're different.
Oh, I think that's the appeal of the show, at least. To me, that is. Because, like, you would relate to Mabu. Like, oh my god, I'm not normal, but, like, I'm just so socially awkward that, like, I'm not successful yet.
So are you trying to say that like there's something in this show for everyone. Like
I think so.
There's like aspects of like life that like are broken down to like the kind of base components of like you just kind of want to figure out what you're gonna do for a career, or like you kind of want to just get the girl, you kind of want to just like you kind of just want to like make friends, right? Like Ekubo and Mom, you kind of just want to like
you want to build muscles, like that's the whole reason that I work out. It's not that I want to be healthy, no, I just want to seem like better. Like to me, like Mobu is just the quintessential like like he's struggling just because of like real life struggles. It's like these are all the things that everyone kind of thinks about, to me at least. I feel like maybe like, you know, the geniuses, like I don't know, the people who have achieved like full wisdom, like they wouldn't struggle about this. But like if you're a normal person, when you're a middle schooler, these are the things that you kind of like just you want to achieve, but then like it's just difficult because you're just awkward.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but I was an awkward child.
I mean, I wore a Timo hat.
Yeah. So even in high school. That's like this true. Is middle school.
Okay, we don't have to savage me that much.
But like again, like I gained somewhat like social like self-awareness in high school. Clearly that was like not yet. Like
you're just like, okay, you know, I wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I wasn't that bad. But I was pretty bad. In middle school I was just confused. But like anyways.
Okay, but Timo hats are cool.
Anyways, oh my god, we haven't even talked about the main point. Ekubo. Holy shit.
Oh man.
Okay, like I cried so much watching the few episodes about like the whole like broccoli, you know, I guess religion cult thing. And again, like after watching it, as we were talking about it, I just like cried just because I don't even know why. It is so cliche. It is so predictable. However, I can't stop myself from crying. And I think that I probably read the manga till there. Like, I think I remember like reading the manga about like the big broccoli tree and whatnot. But like the animation just so well made. Like the pacing, just the emotional kind of like delivery is just so good.
Right. It's just they you know, they put aside like more of the episodes for just this kind of part, and we just kind of, you know, like normally we stop. This one we just continued. We just kept on going.
We cannot stop you. You just, oh my god.
Couldn't stop until intermission.
Ekubo's so good. Like, the whole character arc, he started from season 1, just like being like, you know, the evil person of... First of all, he was like an icon, even as a like evil mastermind, trying to like start his own religion. But at the same time, just like if you really think about it, like his name Ekubo meaning dimple, his goal isn't that bad after all. He just really just wants everyone to laugh.
Yeah, he wanted everybody to be happy.
Yeah.
And like this is the same thing.
It makes me want to cry now.
And then the same thing with this. He just wanted to make everyone happy, and they achieve like inner peace when they're like.
Oh my god, this is actually so philosophical that I didn't even think about, and I didn't even write in my notes.
Yeah, and then Mob is like, "Oh,
like
that's wrong," and then Ekubo's like, "Why?" They're completely happy, and like, I'm not gonna do anything wrong with them. God. I'm not trying for world domination. Like, I mean, I guess
he is.
I guess in a way, but it's just like he's achieving it, and he's just, you know, he's not trying to kill everybody.
He's not at all.
So it's just like, oh
my god, if we're going to try to be like fucking like academic and deep, it's like, then is it morally wrong to do so? To brainwash everyone into happiness? Like, no one is dying.
Yeah. See, that's,
what is so harmful about this?
Right, see, that's the question. It's like, if nobody is dying, and like, if... I don't know. And Ekubo's not even human, so it's like... Yeah. So there's no, like, human corruption side to it, you know?
Yeah. Like, he's not trying to make money off of anything.
Yeah.
Like, what is wrong about what he's doing, even?
Yeah, it's not, like, a human thing.
But, like, if I were to tell you that I can, like, mind control you into, like, everyday blissfulness, but then you'll just not like think independently, as if we think independently now, but like you're not gonna think independently for yourself. Like, would you take it?
I don't know.
Honestly, I don't know either. Shit.
Oh snap!
Like,
perhaps this requires more thought.
I mean, like, the whole thing about, like, for example, this is just an example. It might be a gigantic stretch, but then, like, you know, just, like, even in, like, a BDSM kind of relationship, or, like, just in another example, like, hypnosis, right? Like, to be willingly controlled by another person to achieve, like, blissfulness, is it that bad?
Yeah, I mean, if they sign up to do it, then it's not bad.
Yeah, I guess the only, like, morally wrong thing that Equable is doing is, like, is forced.
Nobody signed up for that shit,
yeah.
You know? Like, what if they enjoy, like, not being happy, you know? It's fine.
Yeah,
because the thing is, like, you gotta have, like, unhappiness to, like, feel happy, you know?
Yeah, but then, like, oh my god, I know too many unhappy people, like Mom.
Oh no.
Oh my god, she's probably listening to this.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah, my mom listens to all of my episodes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Even the cussing and everything.
Oh, man.
Anyways, it doesn't really matter.
And the BDSM stuff. That's amazing.
She wouldn't understand. Right. It's okay. Hi, Mom. But okay. It's just like, oh god, no, that's super philosophical. But just like, not just talking about that, but just like, let's just focus on just the friendship between like Equable and like Mobu.
Yeah, we learned in the end that all Equable wanted was a friend.
Well, we didn't even have to like learn it at the end. Like Equable, he was evil in season 1, but then he was just like not evil for like most of the like show, like season 2 and like that, and like in season 3 he even like went to Mobu to basically tell him about his plans,
right.
Like ask him if he wanted to join. And then it's just like the realization of Mobu to think that like he's the person who, oh my god, thinking about it makes me want to cry. Like just he's the person who gave him trust, but then he didn't reciprocate it. Makes me really sad.
Right. Yeah, I mean, he kind of, like, afterwards, he was, like, thinking about it, was like, wait a second. Like, Equable, like, kind of came to him, he was like, you know, we gotta try this thing, and he just, like, straight up told him no, you know, I was like, nope, and then Equable just, like, literally left without saying a word. He was like, oh my god.
No, like, as someone who's kind of, I'm pretty bad at, like, socializing, right? And then...
Yeah.
The whole thing about this whole show, it's like, it's so like supernatural, but at the same time it's just very much so like just normal human shit. At the end of the day, if you like strip out everything, it's just like people just want to make friends, people want to find love, people want to be appreciated by the society. That's all there is to living,
right?
And then like it just told it in a very, like, bizarre way. And then, like, it's not just Equable that's just... Oh my god, just, like, thinking about, like, Equable... His last goodbye to Mobu. Oh god, I don't know.
that was crazy.
It's just... Like, he just waved to him even though he only had one arm left.
Yeah.
It's so cliche. It's just the most like.
It was a good one.
I just feel so much for Equable. Like, it's like Equable's like kind of mature, older than Mobu and whatnot, but then still, like he always like gave Mobu like all of his trust, and also just like he had faith in the power that Mobu had. Like he had faith in him more than Mobu did.
Yeah.
And then like, oh god, that hurts me so much.
Okay.
It hurts me to think about it.
Okay.
It's just, oh god.
Yeah, so
it's kind of like odd that it's like one small found the confidence that he kind of rejected Ekubo, because it's like he felt like, oh my god, all the girls are giving me attention.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm special.
You're right.
And then he's like, oh, Ekubo, don't do what you're doing. Like, he's, again, denying him of, like, Ekubo's lifelong dream. Like, without thinking too much about it.
Right.
Oh my god.
Bob got very full of himself. It was very funny.
But at the same time, I don't know. It's like, isn't getting confidence something kind of positive?
I guess so.
I don't know anymore. After watching that episode, it's like, oh my god, I should just be humble. And, calm myself down. But like, oh god. Oh, that's actually kind of confusing, and like, just, it's a mixed message.
Yeah.
Like, the thing about Ekubo is, like, he has so much faith in, like, Mavu, but then Mavu never had the confidence, but once he got the confidence, he didn't need Ekubo to believe in him anymore, and then he's, like, telling him off, basically.
Right. Yeah, it's just, that's kind of cliche as well, right? Like, that's like the classic, like, you get a little big-headed, you think you're better now, and then you just, like, reject what was previously, like, the advice that you would normally take. So then that's,
But then it's not really a good advice anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole plan of Ekubo is just, it is quite strange.
Yeah.
And holy shit, like, the kind of, like, doppelganger mob is so fucking scary.
Right. That was, like, that's not allowed, like, for this type of show. Holy crap.
Holy fucking shit.
Like, what is it? The yellow-haired guy, what was his name?
Like Hanazawa or something?
Yeah, Hanazawa, like, he drinks, like, what, milk or something, and then, boom, you see the mob, like, right behind him. That's not allowed. That's illegal stuff. That's, like...
I was so scared.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And, like, first of all, his design is so simplistic, but just, like, so gross. Because, like, the veiny, like, random, like, plant-like shit. And also, just, like, he just appears.
Yeah.
And then, like, he has no, like, facial expression.
Like, I didn't get that, where he just appears. Like, we don't even know what happens afterwards, right?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. But then, he just is everywhere, because, like, he's a plant that grows everywhere.
Right.
At some point.
Okay. I could say
But yeah, like, oh my god. Like, it was way scarier than I anticipated. But I guess it's fine.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean...
What else do we need to talk about? Oh my god, the bad shirts comments by Ekubo.
Yeah, at the very
end. He's a true friend.
Yeah.
He's a true friend.
Yeah, he helped him out.
That's what, like, woke, like, him up. Like, woke Mabu up to, like...
He got to 100 off of that comment, man. Yeah. Like, alone. Like, that shirt was so bad.
Yeah, but no one else told him.
Yeah.
Straight up. Like... I mean, like, Reagan was like, oh, you should wear your, like, jacket over it. Kind of thing. But then, like, no one would tell him, like, oh, your shirt is shit. Don't wear it. Or, like, that's so ugly.
Dude, he spent $50 on that shirt. So it's like...
It's actually expensive.
Dude, like, that's some good quality shirt right there.
But then it's like, that's the level of trust that you should have with your friend. And... to be quite honest, I don't have a friend like that.
Oh, man. I
mean, you're my friend, Daz. Like, if you wear ugly shirts, I tell you. When you're stupid, I tell you. But, like, even, like, my female friends, like, I can't bring myself to say what I truly think. And, like, Ekubo has, like, lived with Mavu, and, like, they've been through so much. Like, they fought so many, like, random, like... not enemies, but just, I guess, enemies, like, people, right? And then, like, they have that, and then just to...
That's true.
He basically died for Malva to escape.
Yeah.
And then the tree disappeared. Well, the tree, like, floated in space.
Yeah. I mean, I would assume Mob felt that Ekubo died because he cried later about it.
But then he doesn't even remember it.
Yeah.
But because like Ekubo like mind controlled him to not remember it.
Yeah.
It hurt my soul.
Interesting.
Huh?
Interesting.
What is interesting?
Wait, Ekubo like mind controlled him to not remember it.
Yeah,
but
because like Mobu like used all his powers
So
before
could get in. Yeah, that's right. That makes sense.
Yeah, and it hurts me because I'm just like, oh my god. But at the same time, I'm glad that Mobu knows that like his friend did sacrifice him.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
that is basically that.
Yeah, I mean, we basically covered everything.
Yeah. I rambled a lot, so I will try to edit some things out.
Which things?
Many a things.
I mean, okay, that's fair.
We'll see.
Yeah. So we'll
again, this is a restart of our channel.
Yeah.
If you are at this point, I'll be surprised, but like, I mean, thank you, right?
Of course.
With a channel with like, I don't know, average, a few seconds watch time. If you watch till here,
no, we get a lot of views. Okay, it's from your really good thumbnails, but it's just
But like, oh my god! If anyone wants to talk about Mob Psycho, please comment. Please talk to me. I will reply to you, my friends.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I too want human connection.
So,
thank you.
What would you rate it?
Again, as I've said before, the first at least 6 episodes, 9.5 out of 10.
Yeah, and I think I give it a 8.5 out of 10. So
the more I think about it, the more I like it. Holy shit!
Would you give it a 10 out of 10?
No.
Well, why?
It's relatable, but not that deep.
Oh.
I feel like it needs to be more philosophical to be like higher. Again, as I've said to you many a times, like, I love Neon Genesis Evangelion. I would rate it higher than Mob Psycho for sure.
A 9.6?
Sure.
Wow.
Never a 10.
Yeah.
Never a 10.
Yeah, I mean, you could just say, like, it's not a 10. Because I can't give 10s.
Yeah, I can't give 10s. And, like, again, like, Neon Genesis, it's, like, relatable. Like, I feel Shinji so much and all the other, like, female characters. But it's just a lot more philosophical. It's like, oh, you can actually... It's not the symbolism. It's not, like... I know that a lot of people... I should not talk about this. This is Neon Genesis shit. But, like, people talk about, like, religion, like, symbolism in Neon Genesis. Like, to me, I think that's, like, complete bullshit. Because it's, like, aesthetic choice. But then it's just, like, the philosophical thing about just, like, wanting human connection. Like, the Hegelian dialectic of, like, wanting to be, like, respected and recognized. But, again, that is for a different time. Bye.
Goodbye.
I sleep.
We'll probably end on that, yeah. That's good enough. See you guys in the next.